Founding father Keith Richards' rhythm guitar hooks are the backbone of the Rolling Stones, while his licks lean heavily towards an early rock and roll guitar a la Chuck Berry. Ex-Stone Mick Taylor has a thick, blues-rooted legato approach, directly influenced by Hendrix and Clapton, while current lead guitarist Ronnie Wood IDs himself with a lighter Strat sound, with solos coming from a more sparse R&B and country place. In the Lick Vernacular Workshop with the Rolling Stones. Starting with Keith Richards, some licks based around G, and although he usually tunes to G tuning, for this stuff we're going to stay with standard and adapt the licks to it, okay? First one in the spirit and style of Honky Tonk Women. I'm grabbing the top 3 strings without a pick, making sure that the dynamic is even and each string gets the same attack. So when you bend this, it creates this triad. Now we're going to go up an octave higher to play some similar licks Same strings. Make sure that you're playing everything dynamically even and that the notes are ringing through for these double stops. And there you have it. Phrase 2, G minor pentatonic, form 1, with some passing notes here in double stops. And this one's a testament to Keith's constant homage to Chuck Berry. Old-time rock and roll type playing here. And there are the double stops, borrowed from major pentatonic and the blues scale. Dig in hard. Ending on the G7 trill. Rock and roll. Phrase 3, our last Keith phrase, is strictly minor pentatonic, form 1, and here, form 2, with some licks in the style of Sympathy for the Guy with the Horns. Check the double stop pull-offs. Pretty straightforward stuff. Picking hard. Up in form 2 now. Take your time on that grad bend. Right there, just a little half step. Time to workshop some Mick Taylor phrases. We're going to switch to the Gibson sound with the humbucker. It's going to cover form 1 up here, and a connection from form 2 right here down to form 1 an octave lower, and notes on one string, approximating Mick Taylor's playing on Can't You Hear Me Knockin'. And if you hear some weirdness, that's right. Those are called undertones. To get that bend right, you're going to hear a crunchy sound, like this. Get your intonation tight there. Wide vibrato. Down to form 2 for the double stop and a shift. And here's the one string deal. Check that out again. Just one pick, sliding and coming back. Moving on, phrase 5 is primarily minor, pentatonic form 1 and 2, with an additional A right here, bending up a G to an A, and an E right here, which is borrowed from major pentatonic perhaps. Alright, some licks in the feel of Midnight Rambler. Here's our bend up to the 9th to A and release, trilling and coming down, and there's the E note, the 6th, into minor pentatonic form 1. Heavy vibratos. Mick Taylor, known for his world-class vibrato. Last Mick Taylor phrase, straight up minor pentatonic. Actually, we're going to hang in this box, form 1, the whole time. And check out the phrasing here. It may remind you of Eric Clapton. It's very blues-based. Especially here. Really just blues licks, very nicely phrased and played with a lot of intent. Let's check that out again. Up the tempo. And there you go. Alright, our last Rolling Stone, but certainly not least, Ronnie Wood. Switching to the Strat, we wouldn't want to leave any stones unturned. Going to his preferred out-of-phase tone between the treble and the middle. And we're going to cover major pentatonic, G, on of these two chords that they're formed on. Form 4 into form 5, major pentatonic. Now let's check out these licks pulling from the style and feel of Beast of Burden. Gets off to a rolling start with these hammers on the 3rd and 2nd strings. Okay, and coming back down with a couple of bends and releases. And switching back to form 4 for a moment and connecting back up to form 5. Some pretty riffing around here. Like that. Back into form 4. And again back up to form 5. And a nice chordal move there of G to C and back in triads. Moving on, phrase 8, let's jam it into treble position. And we're going to do some licks that feel like when the whip comes down. Minor pentatonic form 1 right here. And here are the licks. Hold that up there and release. Very straight ahead stuff. Right in the box. Another held bend up here, releasing gradual. And shifting back for a moment to form 5, but back up to 1. Our workshop closer should call to mind some of Ron Wood's most stellar major pentatonic playing, based on forms 4 and 5, like the last one right here, shifting back and forth. See if you can guess what bona fide classic rock song this is from. Okay, starting out in major form 4, shifting right up to 5, back and forth, just grabbing notes around the triad, the G triad that is. Now a lick right in the box, pretty melody on a G major sound. Little pedal steelish type effect there. And coming down, double stop hammer and a shift back to form 4 to end it out. Good times.